everyone. I'm going to show you around my garden today. We have some flower gardens and some vegetable gardens, and we have a little bit mixed in. What I want to show you the most is this mulberry tree over here. Um, if you've never had a mulberry, you should plant a tree. This tree has been here longer than I have been alive. It's huge and it's awesome, and it's currently producing mulberries. A mulberry is this small fruit, dark fruit, that is incredibly sweet. It needs no sugar. It's delicious. It makes a mess in my yard, but I don't care. Some other things I'd like to show you. We have these really pretty hollyhocks blooming. They're pink. I grew these from seed. I think they're really pretty. Some random things you're going to see around. You're going to see like poppies and this lamb's ear that we just planted. This is a butterfly bush here that's blooming. This here is a clary sage. I planted it about 3 years ago, and it just continues to bloom. These blooms are currently facing down, but they'll stand up and they bloom this beautiful lilac color. So they're really pretty. And then planted in here, we have, this is where some cucumbers are coming up. We have some lettuces going to seed. This lettuce survived the winter, so I'm letting it go to seed so that I can collect the seed from that. We have some corn planted in here. This was a row of cauliflower that I have already picked, some of it, and some of it's still growing. Over here on this side, we have thyme in here, nasturtiums, calendula, and then I have tomatoes with more of these cucumbers planted here on this trellis. This over here is a comfrey. I didn't cut this one back. As you can see, it's still blooming because the honeybees love it. I did transplant that from one over there, so I'll probably chop it off of it. This is my broccoli, and there's some cauliflower planted in there. This is a basil that I let basil go to seed last year, so it is self-seeding here. We have zucchini, some overwintered onions, some more of that basil in here. And then this is a beautiful patch of calendula. You will also see some calendula kind of placed throughout the garden. I didn't plant that. It comes back there after the seeds have dropped in its place. Here we have a row of beets mixed with some corn and some kale in here. I also have another kohlrabi over here. I don't remember planting that, but it's there. So a lot of this lettuce that you see here, it is past its prime, but I do feed it to my chickens, so I give them a head every few days. That's why it's still growing in here. It's feverfew, and then we have a rosemary that's probably too close to that nasturtium, but that's all right. And then we have some red sorrel. This bed that we have over here is one of my favorites this year because it has, like, it's what I want all of my beds to look like, where it has large things in the middle, root crops on the outside. We have plants for pollinators, and we have all of this all mixed into this 3-foot area. So that's my goal. Excuse the flowers as I try to walk through. We have, in this one space, we have 2 different kinds of carrots. We have a red cabbage, we have a cauliflower, a broccoli, some more red cabbage, some more early season cabbage. I think it's early Jersey Wakefield is that one in there. I also had radish in here at one point. I don't have that anymore. Tomatoes. And then this down here is okra. So I have planted this all up in okra because this was my kohlrabi bed. The kohlrabi is almost done. I have 2 left in this bed, and so once I pull those, I'll plant some more okra. Winter savory. It is really tasty in the wintertime, obviously its name, but it is also good right now as well. But I like it that it stays green all winter. This right here is all parsley. I use parsley a lot. I use it in salads. I use it as garnish. I use it on a lot of different dressings. I use a lot of parsley. And I also use it as a ground cover. I don't like to see my soil. I like it to be covered. Here in Missouri, it gets hot, and it gets hot quickly. So I like to keep my ground covered. I have less watering, less weeding, all of that because of that. Some more calendula and some more lettuce here. This, and then right here we have some more, we have some cucumbers that are coming up because these peas that you see on this side of the trellis will be done soon. And so I planted some cucumbers to come up and some more nasturtiums. And then we have peppers. And then on that side of peppers, we have more cabbage. I do like to layer things, stick things on the edges that I'm going to harvest a lot, things in the middle that I'm not going to harvest a lot. I mix things together. Again, these are Space Master cucumbers. I did not trellis my cucumbers this year. We'll see. I did plant onions throughout to kind of deter some pests. And you'll see some other herbs kind of sprinkled in here and there. Again, this lettuce here is all for my chickens to eat, so I'm just kind of holding on to it. What I mean by I don't like to see my soil, this bed under my tomatoes, that all you see is soil. I am working on covering that up. I have some parsley, and I have some cantaloupe ready to be planted and a few other things. I would have liked sweet alyssum to go in here, but I didn't plant as much as this one over here is just more cucumbers, more Space Master cucumbers, so we can do some pickling, some fermenting, all that fun stuff. This one over here is also more cucumbers, but I don't know what kind. I forgot to label my cucumbers this year when I planted them, and so I don't know what kind of cucumbers those are. So I will find out whenever, ow! I will find out whenever they start to fruit. That's Rolo. She's kind of feisty in the garden sometimes. This here's dill. Underneath of the dill, you have carrots. I did not plant any of this dill this year. It is just growing here. So that's great. And I use a ton of dill for my pickles. And I also love to eat dill. I have this new salad that I've been eating. Love it. And then inside of here, we have tomatoes. And all of our summer crops this year, they're tucked way down in there, is our tomato plants. There's some zinnias behind that. We have things tucked in here, there, and everywhere. And today was the first 85-degree day we had. I mean, it's been a while. So everything that is a cool season is a little bit behind, and everything that is a warm season is definitely behind. So, and then on the end here, I like to stick some lettuce while our tomatoes are growing. I like to stick a little bit of lettuce in here and cover the soil. I don't want to see any of that. So, because when my soil is showing, weeds grow and I have to water more often. So, I don't want to have to weed or water. It takes up too much of my time. This over here is oregano. It blooms this beautiful pink-y color. This whole thing will be in that color, so that's great. My baby chickens did get out and tear through some of that, so that's why it's kind of flopped down in the middle. Then over here we have our echinacea bed. All of this is echinacea. There were some other things tucked in here at one point, but I guess the echinacea took over, but that's okay. It's just this classic pink echinacea. And there is a Russian sage that's tucked back in there. There's some salvia in there. This bed also has tons of bulbs in the summertime, so those are still in there as well. Again, it's kind of pushed down in the back there because my baby chickens got out. And you can see this clematis blooming back there. This is the sweet alyssum that I was talking about. This really pretty purple and white. I think it's really pretty and it smells really good. So I was hoping to have a bunch of that to help cover the ground, but I don't. So, all right, so we will, I'll swing around this way and show you these foxgloves and a few other things I have in here, and then we'll go to the orchard. These little foxgloves, I know you can't see it because they were glorious. Look how tall they are. They are beautiful. I'm hoping I might have to come in and stake these up so they don't fall over, but I am going to let these go to seed. I'm going to let them seed. I'm going to take the seeds. I'm going to sprinkle them around other parts of the garden. I'm going to try to germinate some of those seeds and grow some more of these foxgloves because this is the first year I grew foxgloves, and wow, beautiful. Love them. Absolutely love them. Over here you have some more feverfew. Such a pretty dainty little flower. If you can see, tucked way back under in there, I have a hosta, that really blue hosta that's against this shrub. I think they're really fun. So here's some more of that oregano that is blooming purple. It does kind of take over. I have cut it back a couple times, but we use a lot of oregano, and also I just love these blooms. So there's some other fun things down in here. We have some catmint that's down in there that I need to cut back and it will rebloom. This is a pink Veronica. I think it is very pretty. I wish I would have planted more of that, so I need to get some more of that. You can see these sedums in here. They haven't bloomed yet, but this yarrow is looking fabulous. Great. It's looking great. And then also this comfrey down here, that's what I cut back to make the comfrey fertilizer that I use to fertilize my garden. And it has only been 2 weeks and it has already came back and looked like that. So it's okay. I cut it back all the way to the ground, and this is how beautiful it looks. And now it will continue to be beautiful all season long. And there are some poppies and some more yarrow in here. And then this right here is Rudbeckia. That's what it is. Almost forgot. Just some really nice things. This area in here, I do feel like is lacking a little bit of early spring color. So I'm thinking foxgloves, baptisia, something. I've been really thinking about that area. I didn't know what it needed because this right here is a Rosa Sharon. It's a lilac Rosa Sharon. It's very pretty, but that area in there, it needs more because I see that from my living room window and I would like it to have a little bit more action going on in there. So something I'm working on. All right, let's go up and look at the orchard. This arbor that we're walking under, I planted a few different things on it, but as of right now, it has grapes on it. So I'm going to try to grow some grapes up this side and up this side. I think that's going to be really fun, a grape arbor to walking into our orchard. So our orchard is a work in progress this year. We have rows of blackberries that we are re-trellising because my trellising is no good. We have some honeyberries that have already fruited and have stopped. We have 2 apple trees that are over here that are completely loaded with apples. We also have a ton of weeds everywhere. So we put the straw down to help with a mulch. Again, I don't like to see the soil, but it is just one of those things that we're still working through. See our chickens behind us. These 2 rows here are raspberries. Over here we have just a standard red raspberry, and this side over here is fall gold. These are new this year. I just planted them 5, and these are 2 years old. So we're working on the weeds on that side. I do have Bermuda grass here at my house, so it is extremely hard to kill, and it keeps coming back. So I should have gotten rid of the weeds before I got started, but I didn't. So now I fight them. So these are raspberries on both sides. So this is a new flower bed this year. We covered it and tarped it last year. This year we mulched it and I put a row of compost down the middle so that I could grow flowers, annuals. There's a little bit of perennials worked in there. I don't exactly know what I'm doing with this bed yet, so that's why I went with mostly some annual flowers. Most of them haven't even started blooming yet. We got some, but I have cosmos, calendula. I put some asparagus in here this year. My son planted lima beans. These are all of Sawyer's sunflowers. We have some watermelon vines that are kind of sprinkled in there that have not enjoyed our cool days lately, but these are bells of Ireland. This is a patch of Cresspedia that's just about ready to pop open. The only thing that is blooming up here, we have honeywort. This is the first time I grew it this year. I think it's so cute. It's supposed to be good in a vase. I haven't made a bouquet with it yet. I should do that, but I haven't quite made it there yet. This is more dill. And here we have lettuce leaf basil. We have that stacked in there. And then this is just a few different varieties of blanket flower that we have mixed in here. So this is my front flower bed. It is also new this year. My goal was to have an entire bed of zinnias. um, but I don't know what happened. They didn't come up very well. So I do have a few. I did go ahead and plant some green beans in there, and then I have a row of strawberries that I have planted in here. Hopefully they are ground cover and keep going. All of this in here, we have some phlox. We have this pretty Japanese maple. We have a ton of weeds because this is a first year garden. This is a Nicotiana. It's supposed to smell really good. So that's why I planted it here by my front porch. It does look like something is nibbling on it, so I'm not sure what that's all about. And then this is some lady's mantle. I transplanted it from under the mulberry tree because it wasn't loving its life. And I think it's doing much better here because it never once bloomed under the mulberry tree. So we have big plans for this. It's going to be our shade garden with an arbor, so that's going to be fun. This in here is columbine. It needs to be cut back. It's kind of past its prime, but this is lavender. Some fun lavender in here. This is the grass I was talking about earlier. It's gotten in there and I need to handle that. And then up here we have another spot that I put some echinacea. I just put a few in there and then they just multiplied. This is that in there is an aster, purple aster, so I'm excited to see that one bloom. This is all lily of the valley. I did not plant it there. The previous owners did, so it's there. And then these are these big, pretty leaves. Can't think of what that plant is right now. I don't know why I can't think of that, but this one over here is a lungwort. That's right here. It's very pretty. It blooms this really pretty blue and pink flowers. So, and then on this side, this is my herb garden. This is right outside of my kitchen door, so this is where all my herbs are. And then I have this really pretty clematis that's right here. I really like it. All the herbs are planted over here. We have basil, we have my parsley, we have cutting celery, we have borage. This is all garlic chives in here, regular chives over there, more echinacea because I just can't get enough of it. Sage is in here, lemon verbena, more sage. Then this is a white blooming variety of oregano. I like the flavor of this one more than the pink one, but it is growing there. And then more zinnias here and some thyme. So it's got a little bit of everything growing in here. And then this was a rose that we are going to be trellising up over my kitchen window that's right here. It looks like the Japanese beetles have found it though, so that's kind of a bummer. But then we just got a little bit of other things going on in here. Mostly weeds, it looks like. No, we got some lavender, and these were very pretty. They were really tall and they had this beautiful pink color on them. And then we have some scabiosa, also pretty. So everything is coming along. It needs a little bit of mulch in here, needs some weeding going on, but this is new to this year as well. So everything's either been here for about 3 years or this bed here is right along my driveway. I put it in 2 years ago. It was driveway, so it was rock. We raised it up and we put in this kind of just wild edge here. It changes through the seasons, and this has been its best year. It has been fantastic. We started with annuals, then I planted seed and I battled weeds still battling them, but it was a ton of weeds. And now this year, the flowers have seemed to just take over. So this is all my chamomile in here. This is all some Rudbeckia. Um, we have some penstemon I just planted, some lemon balm, more hollyhocks, and more chamomile. It's all just kind of tucked in here. There's larkspur in here. The bachelor buttons were growing huge and full, and now they're not quite so much anymore. Let's see, what else do we have in here? There is more of the Russian sage and larkspur. And then this is verbena. It came back from last year. It has these really dainty purple flowers that just kind of dance in the wind. And then this is a redbud tree. It's looking much better than it was earlier this year. My cat and dog like to also play in this bed, clearly. They have created a giant hole, so we're going to have to figure that one out. But and then also down here, we have some oregano, and we have this I'm super excited about. We have yarrow, but this right here is a pale echinacea. See how its leaves are really thin, and I started this from seed 3 years ago, and this is the first year I got a bloom from it. And I wanted to show you this view. This is a view, I just love it. We have this sedum that's growing here. We have a barberry, and then we have just this wild mass with the stone steps and the sedum growing out of it. It's one of my favorite views right now that we have. So I get to walk up these steps and into our gravel courtyard that I just cleaned up. And then this is just my courtyard area, as I like to call it, and grass. And we have our patio, and we have a new flower bed that we are currently still working on. So that's it. This is my garden tour. Thank you so much for watching.